Hey, what's up guys, it's DarkArmedDuelist, and today we're going to be doing a Machina deck profile. So I'm really excited for this deck because this deck just got some really good new support in Blazing Vortex, and it's an overall a really cool deck to play around with because it actually was a structure deck, so it's very, very budget. So without further ado guys, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell next so you can become part of the notification squad, and definitely check out the Patreon down the description below because you have all those awesome rewards you guys, like getting your name searched for every single video, getting a signed card to the mail, or even getting to request a deck profile every single month to your Patreon along with test hands. So without further ado guys, let's get straight on into this. So first off, we're going to be playing 3 copies of Machina Citadel. Citadel is really good in this deck because it has some insane effects. Citadel cannot be normal summoned or set. It must be special summoned by a card effect, and once per turn, or excuse me, quick effect, you can target one machine monster you control, destroy that machine monster, and all monster opponent control with attack less than or equal to that face-up monster. And if it was an earth machine monster you controlled, except another copy of yourself, is destroyed by battle or by card effect while this card's in your graveyard, you instantly get special summon this card from your graveyard, which is a really good effect, but it's only once per turn. But this deck does a lot of that where it's going to have a monster that's going to get destroyed and you're instantly going to get to summon this card, which is why you play this card as a 3-of in the deck. We then play 3 copies of Fortress. Fortress is really, really good in the deck because you can discard a machine monster. You discard any machine monster whose level is 8 or more, and then you can special summon this card from your hand or graveyard, and then when this card is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, you get to target one card your opponent controls and destroy it. Before resolving your opponent's monster effect that targets this card, also you get to look at your opponent's hand and discard a card from their hand, which is really cool, so your opponent's not going to want to target this. We then play 3 copies of Aerator. Aerator is really good because it has the ability to discard one other Machina monster, and then special summon this card from your hand. And then during your opponent's turn, quick effect, you can target one machine monster you control, special summon from your deck one machine monster with a different name and equal or lower level than that monster. And if you do destroy that targeted monster, you only use each effect of this card once per turn, but it's a really good card overall to play as a 3-of in the deck. We then play 3 copies of Irradiator. Irradiator is really good too because it has the ability that you can discard one other Machina monster, special summon this card from your hand, and then you can target a machine monster you control, special summon from your graveyard one Machina monster with a different name and equal or lower level than that monster, and if you do, destroy the targeted monster, and you only use each of this effects once per turn. But it's an overall really good card just to be able to get you an additional monster on your side of the field, which is why you play both of these at the numbers that you do, because they're just overall really, really good cards. We then play 2 copies of Metal Cruncher. Metal Cruncher is really cool too. It's kind of like the Cosmo Tin Can of the deck, because what it does is if you control no face-up cards, then you can normal summon this card without tributing, and its original attack becomes 1800. And if this card is normal or special summon, you get to reveal 3 earth machine monsters from your deck, and then your opponent randomly adds one of them to your hand, and then you shuffle the rest back into the deck, and you can only use the effect of this card once per turn. But it's a really good overall card just to get you the monster on your side of the field to get you additional plays. We then play a single copy of Machina Megaform. Megaform is really, really, really good in this deck because Megaform, what it basically does is if you tribute, or you can tribute this card to special summon a Machina monster from your hand or deck, except another copy of itself. And if a face-up Machina Fortress you control is sent to the graveyard while this card is in your graveyard, then you can manage a Machina Fortress from your grave and special summon this card. You only use each of the following effects this card once per turn. So it's a really good card overall just to get you a monster on your side of the field and kind of replace the Fortress. We then play 3 copies of Machina Gearframe. Gearframe is an insanely good card in this deck. It's a searcher of the deck. Then when this card is normal summon, you get to add a Machina monster from your deck to your hand, except another copy of yourself, which is a really good effect overall, which kind of combos with the next card that we're going to be playing, which is the new Machina monster. This card is really, really good because it has the ability to be able to, that if this card is added from your deck to your hand, you can instantly special summon it, and also you cannot special summon monsters for its turn except for machine monsters. And if this card is normal or special summon, you could send a Machina monster from your deck to the graveyard, which is overall really good to be able to special summon, normal summon the Gear Frame, special summon this, and then send your copy of Citadel from your deck to the grave, which is overall a really good combo for the deck to be able to just instantly send them to the graveyard. And also get you a lot of different plays in the deck as well, which can get you some Xyz plays and some Link plays as well. We then then play 2 copies of Possessed Storage. Possessed Storage is overall really good in the last Machina monster that we play, because if this card is normal or special summon, you get to target 1 Machina monster in your graveyard except another copy of itself, and special summon in defense position, but it can't activate its effects this turn, and you can target 1 other Machina monster you control and 1 spell or trap your opponent controls, return them to the hand, and you can only use the effect of this card once per turn. So it's an overall really good card. It helps you get monsters back onto your side of the field from the graveyard, and it's basically walking Monster Reborn. So that's it for the Machina monsters. Let's get into the trains that we play in the deck, because it is a level 10 deck. You're going to be having the copy of Citadel, and it works really well. They're Earth Machines, so you do want to play a little bit of a train package in the deck too. So, for the trains, I'm going to be playing 3 copies of Super Express Train. Super Express Train is really good because if you control a Earth Machine monster, or all the monsters on your side of the field are Earth Machine monsters, then you can special summon this card from your hand, and then during the end phase, if this card is sent to the graveyard because it was sent there this turn, then you get to target 1 Machine monster in your graveyard except another copy of yourself and add it back to your hand, which is an overall really good effect. We play 3 copies of Decker Crane. Decker Crane is really good because if a Earth Machine monster is normal or special summon, then you get to instantly special summon this card from your hand to your side of the field, which is a really good effect, but it halves its attack and defense. And if it's detached as a material, then you get to target 1 card your opponent controls and destroy it, which is a really good effect just to be able to get an additional play, because you can summon out this copy of Gustav Max, detach this, and then be able to burn your opponent for 2,000 and destroy a card, which is really good. We then play 2 copies of Flying Pegasus Railroad Stampede. Railroad Stampede is really good as a 2-of in the deck because you can normal summon it out, and you get to special summon a Earth Machine monster from your graveyard, and then you get to copy the level of either this card or that card and make them the same level, which is really good to be able to just copy the levels because they help you go into Juggernaut Libby or any of your other Xyz plays. So that's it for the monsters, guys. Let's get into the spells. So for the spells, we're going to be playing a single copy of Monster Reborn. Monster Reborn is a good 1-of in the deck because it's going to help you get your monsters back from the graveyard. 1 copy of Machina Defense Perimeter. I just feel like 1 Defense Perimeter is fine. If you want to drop the Monster Reborn and play another Defense Perimeter, you can, but I just like playing 1 copy of it. And what it does is while you control a level 7 or higher Machina monster or Machine monster, your opponent's monsters cannot target level 6 or lower Machine monsters you control for attacks, and also your opponent cannot target them with card effects either. And if a face-up Machine monster you control is destroyed by battle or by card effect, you can target 1 Machine monster in your graveyard and add it back to your hand, which is pretty good because it helps you get those monsters back in your hand, but overall, I just feel like it's a 1-of. We then play the 3 best cards in the entire deck, which is 3 copies of Machina Redeployment. Redeployment is really good because you can discard a card to add 2 Machina monsters with different names from your deck to your hand, and also it has the ability that you can discard a Machina monster to add 2 Machina cards with different names from your deck to your hand. So either if you discard any card, you can only add Machina monsters. If you discard a Machina monster, you can add any 2 cards from your deck to your hand that are Machina cards, which is pretty cool. I like that ability. It's basically Melody of Awakening Dragon for Machina, which is awesome. And then we play 3 copies of Urgent Schedule. So Urgent Schedule is really cool in the deck too because it is an Earth Machine deck. It's going to help you get your copies of your Earth Machine monsters out of the deck onto your side of the field extremely quickly during your opponent's turn. Because if your opponent controls more monsters than you do, you can activate this card to be able to special summon 1 level 4 or lower and 1 level 5 or higher Earth Machine monster from your deck. But you can't declare an attack this turn, which is why you usually set it and treat it like it's a trap to be able to activate during your opponent's turn, which is why this card is really good. And if the set card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you get to add a level 10 Earth Machine monster from your deck to your hand, which can be Citadel, Decker Crane, or your copy of the Super Express Train, which is overall really good. So that's it for the spells, guys. Let's get into the traps. So for the traps, I'm going to be playing 2 copies of Machina Overdrive. Overdrive is really good because it lets you target a Machine monster you control, and you can special summon a Machina monster with a different name from your hand or your deck, and if you do, destroy the targeted monster, and you can manage this card from your graveyard to target 3 of your Machine monsters in your graveyard that are banished or in the graveyard and shuffle them into the deck, and you get to draw a card. So this card is really good as a 2-of in the deck. I probably wouldn't play it any more than 2, but overall, this card is really good to play in the deck at least 2. So that's it for the main deck, guys. Let's get into the extra deck. So for the extra deck, we're going to be playing a single copy of Super Rail Cannon Juggernaut Levy. Juggernaut Levy is the OTK maker of the deck and is overall a really good boss monster. One copy of Gustav Max because it can burn your opponent for 2,000 just by detaching a card. One copy of the Rail Cannon Super Dora because it's unaffected by everything by just detaching a material, which is great. I play the same copy of Optimus Prime, which is Super Dimensional Robot Galaxy Destroyer, aka Optimus Prime. This card's a card that I threw into the deck later on, and it's really cool in the deck because it's basically a Harpy's Feather Duster that's a speed spell for Harpy's Feather Duster, and it's 5,000 attack, which is super neat. It's extremely easy to summon in the deck because of another one of the tech cards I have in here too. We play the same copy of Dingirsu. Dingirsu can help you out a lot because it is a machine monster. You're going to want to play a lot of machine monsters in the extra deck because you're getting locked into machine monsters, but overall this card is really good in the deck to be able to protect your monsters from being destroyed. Two copies of Giganta X. Giganta X just detach a material and add a machine monster from your deck to your hand, which is really good overall just to add it from your deck to your hand. And then we play a single copy of number 27, Dreadnought Dreadnord. This card is really good because at the start of the battle phase, if this card destroyed an opponent's monster, or at the end of the battle phase, this card destroyed a monster by battle, you can special summon from your extra deck one rank 10 or higher machine monster, and then you use this card as a material and summon that card on top of this, which is really cool because you can summon out your copy of the Super Dimensional Robot Galaxy Destroyer, which is really cool. Or you can summon out one of your trains, or you can even summon out your copy of Super Quantal Mech King Great Magius, which is really cool because if it has 2 or more materials, then you can once per turn during either player's turn detach a material from this card and shuffle a card on the field into the deck, which is a really good effect. Just to be able to use these 2 cards together is just insanely good. And then we play a single copy of Divine Arsenal AA Zeus Sky Thunder. This card is really easy to summon too. You can actually use the number 27 to actually make this, which is really cool. If it even just battles, which is insanely good. And just summoning this card and blowing board is really, really, really good. So for the Link monsters, I'm going to be playing a single copy of Access Code Talker. Just give me additional pops. One copy of Unicorn to spin stuff. Phoenix to pop spell and traps. One copy of Double-Headed Anger Knuckler. This card is really good for your rank 10 trains because it has the ability cannot be used as Link material, and also has the ability that during the main phase quick effect, you can send one monster from your hand or field to the graveyard, then target a level 10 machine monster in your graveyard and special summon in defense, which is super nice just to get you to another rank 10 on your side of the field or level 10 machine monster. And this card is in your graveyard. You can send a card from your hand or field to the grave to special summon this card back, which is super nice. And then we play a single copy of Masquerena. Masquerena is really nice in the deck too because Masquerena can go Unicorn, which is really the main reason you're playing this. So that's it for the deck, guys. I hope you did enjoy it. It's a really cool deck overall. The only thing I really think that I might change is I might change out one Giganta X for maybe a number 38, because number 38 would be kind of nice to be able to just go into that and have spell and trap negation. That's the only card that I might change in the entire X deck, but the main deck is totally fine. So anyways, guys, the Dark Armed Duelist. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell there so you can come part of the notification squad, and definitely check out the Patreon down in the description below, and we'll see you guys in the next video. See you later, guys.